You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension, a dimension of sound, a dimension of sight, a dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
Like another wet one, folks. Get your umbrellas and your booties if you're going out. Possible thunderstorms over
Margaret?
2 hours. Cloudy tomorrow with a 50% chance.
Margaret?
Yes, Miss Alva?
Come here, please.
I'll be right there.
Now, it's important.
The dishes are all done. Do you need something?
It's getting late.
It's not that late, is it? We can play a game of cards if you like.
A storm is coming.
Is it?
Well, that's what they said on the radio. A very serious one.
The sky was clear this afternoon.
Nevertheless, I think you should be getting home.
Well, I'll just fix your cup of tea then.
I'd like to be in my bed.
So early?
Well, I'm feeling a bit tired.
Oh, as you wish. Do you have your shawl?
It doesn't do much good. Oh, awfully chilly this evening.
I'll raise the thermostat.
Ah, there's the rain. Oh, I hope the roof holds.
Why wouldn't it? You had it reshingled last year. Here we go. I'll turn the bed down for you. Now, take my hands up and out of your chair.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Margaret. I don't know what I'd do without you.
Oh, you do just fine. You'll be walking again soon. Have you been doing your exercises like Dr. Mays told you?
It's no use. These legs simply don't work anymore. Oh, Margaret, I'll never leave this house again.
Now you stop that. There's a big, wide world out there. Places to go and people to see.
The only way I'll see them is if they come here. And there's not much chance of that. Most everyone I know is passed on.
Surely not. You have a phone right next to the bed. Call some friends. Keep in touch.
It's been too long. I don't know if the numbers work anymore.
Of course they do. If they don't, talk to Miss Finch at the telephone exchange. She'll look them up for you. Now, wait right here. I'll get your pills and a nice cup of hot tea.
Hurry, Margaret, the rain. You'll never get home.
Oh, don't you worry about me, Miss Selva. I'll be back with your tray.
Oh, my. Such a terrible, terrible storm.
Miss Elva Keene, who lives alone on the outskirts of Linden Fleet in Maine. Her world has shrunk to the size of the small house she owns and may never leave again. For some years, the pattern of Miss Keene's life has consisted of sitting in her wheelchair or lying in her feather bed, knitting, reading books, listening to the radio, eating modest portions of food, napping, taking her medication, and waiting. For exactly what? She's not sure. Perhaps for something different to happen. Something small but significant that will make all the difference. Miss Keene doesn't know it yet, but her time of waiting has just ended. For something different is about to happen, by way of an unexpected phone call in the middle of a stormy night. A telephone call routed directly through the Twilight Zone.
And now, The Twilight Zone and our story, Night Call, starring Mariette Hartley, with Stacy Keach as your narrator.
Oh, someone calling? At this hour? Oh. Hello? I'm sorry, I didn't hear. The thunder. Hello? Hello? Who is on the line, please? Oh, no one, apparently. How odd. Perhaps I was dreaming. Oh, for the love of... Hello? Hello? I can't hear you. If you wish to speak to me, please say something, or I'll hang up. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Just a moment, Margaret.
You're up early this morning.
Oh, what is the matter with this phone?
I'm trying to make a call.
No one's picking up at the switchboard.
Well, I imagine they're pretty busy this morning, what with the storm and all.
I suppose.
Phone company, Miss Finch speaking.
Ready for your tea?
Just a moment. Miss Finch, this is Elva Keene.
Yes, Miss Keene, can I help you?
Oh, I certainly hope so.
Oh, I'll do my best. What is the problem?
Last night, about 2 a.m., my telephone rang.
Oh?
I answered it, but no one spoke, and I didn't hear any receiver hanging up. Just silence.
Is that right?
Or rather, a crackling sound like wind and rain.
That would be electrical noise, a faulty line, most likely.
The same thing happened a few moments later.
Well, I'll tell you, Miss Keene, that storm last night about ruined our service. We've been flooded with complaints about fallen wires and bad connections. I'd say you're pretty lucky that your telephone is working at all.
Oh, you would you?
Yes, ma'am.
And would you say then that someone was trying to call me, but that the connection was washed out?
That's as good an explanation as any, Miss Keene.
But who would have tried to call me in the middle of the night?
I'm sorry. I wish I could be of more help, but the way things are right now,
Is it likely to happen again?
I really couldn't say. It might. Were you expecting a call?
Not at that hour.
It depends on what's causing it to happen, of course.
Could you find out?
If there's a breakdown somewhere, our crews will find it and repair it.
And what am I to do in the meantime?
If it does happen again, you just call me and I'll run a special check on it. Will you do that?
Well, if that's your only suggestion.
I'm afraid it is. I'll be here in any event. Well, goodbye, Miss Keene.
Goodbye.
All taken care of?
I'm not sure.
I'll start your tea, and then we'll move into the living room. Would you like that?
Margaret,
Yes, Miss Alva?
did you call me
When?
last night?
At 2 a.m? No, ma'am, not me.
Oh, I thought you might have tried to check on me because of the storm. But then I don't pay you for nights, do I?
More tea?
No, thank you.
Have you taken your pill?
Yes. Don't I always?
Never missed one yet.
The highlight of my morning.
The mail should be here by now. Shall I check the box?
Why don't you do that?
With multiple injuries in the 5-car pileup, so take caution while driving in these slick conditions. The storms are still very strong in the north and northeast, while the rest of the city, the severe storms seem to have passed over. Several areas were still without power last night due to fallen wires. Workmen restored electrical service shortly before dawn.
Here's your mail, Miss Elva.
Thank you.
Anything interesting?
An advertisement. Another advertisement. The light bill, the telephone bill, of course. No personal letters.
You heard from your sister a few days ago, didn't you?
Oh, that was weeks ago, Margaret. 3 weeks and 2 days, to be exact.
Has it been that long?
Yes, that long. Nobody cares whether I live or die.
Oh, sure they do, Miss Elva.
You don't understand.
Don't I?
You can't. You have no idea what it's like to be alone.
But you're not alone. I come by during the day.
Yes, you do. And for that I thank you. But it's been so long since I've had a real visitor. I mean, someone who came of their own accord.
Oh, now don't talk like that. You're going to get yourself into a mood. I'm sure lots of people are thinking about you this very moment.
Who?
You'll hear from someone any time now. Just be patient a while longer. Wouldn't you like to work on your knitting?
All right.
Can I get you anything else?
Not just now.
Well, start thinking about what you want to eat tonight. I'll make a list and go to the store later. For now, I better get the dishes washed.
Hello? Hello? Margaret?
Yes?
Come here, quickly.
Was that the phone? See, someone's calling you now.
Take the receiver.
What for?
I want you to listen.
If you like.
Well,
There's no one on the line, Miss Elva.
just listen. See if you can hear whether anyone's there.
There's nothing.
But you heard it ring, didn't you?
Yes.
Tell me if someone hangs up.
Not a thing. The line's dead.
Wait.
What's the matter?
Oh, well, it doesn't matter. I'll call Miss Finch and have them check on it.
You really think that's necessary?
Yes, I think it's necessary. Am I to suffer calls like that at all hours of the day and night?
Calls like what? There was no call.
Then why did it ring?
It was a mistake, that's all.
How could it be a mistake? Someone must have dialed my number.
Not if it's a malfunction. Something's wrong with the equipment. I'm sure they'll... What are you doing?
Reporting it.
Phone company, Miss Finch speaking.
Hello, Miss Finch. I thought you should know. I've received another one of those calls.
There we go. I peeled you an apple. And here are 2 of your favourite cookies to go with your tea. Can you think of anything else?
No, I'm sure that will do.
All comfy?
Perhaps one more pillow.
Certainly. Here you are.
Thank you, Margaret. You go to so much trouble.
It's no trouble at all.
I wish you could understand how degrading it is for me to ask for help. I've always been able to take care of myself.
Oh, now. We get along just fine, you and me. We're friends.
I don't have friends anymore.
Don't be silly. You have more friends out there than you realize.
Oh, I wish that were true.
You'll see. You'll hear from them. Meanwhile, don't fret about those phone calls. Don't give them another thought.
I'll try not to.
It was the storm, I'm sure of it.
Perhaps you're right.
Whatever the trouble was, the repairman have fixed it by now. But just to be sure, why don't you keep the receiver off the hook and then you won't be bothered?
Oh, that's a good suggestion.
You know, I have an extra television set, a portable. I could bring it over if you like.
No need. There's hardly any reception out here.
There is if you put up an antenna or connect with the cable system.
That costs money. Besides, there's nothing I care to see.
Suit yourself. But if you change your mind, let me know.
You should be getting home.
It is getting late. Let's see. You have your pills, your knitting. Would you like a book?
I'll be going right to sleep.
Good night then, Miss Keene. See you in the morning.
Yes, in the morning. Oh, Margaret, there it is again. What should I do? Nothing. Just as I thought. I won't speak. I'll hang it up and then leave it off the hook. Yes? Who's there? Who is it? Hello? What is making this sound? Is anybody there? Anybody at all? Who is on the line? Who is it? Who? Hello? What is that? Please, please leave me alone. No. Please. No.
Here we are, your favorite spot in the living room.
Not today, please.
Well, where then, Miss Elva?
Away from the window.
If you're going to knit, you'll need the light.
I don't care to knit just now.
Very well.
And close the curtains.
Close them. I just opened them.
That's the way I want it.
But look what a lovely day it is. With the curtains drawn, there'll be hardly enough light for anything.
Please do as I say, Margaret. I'm not feeling well.
Why? What's wrong?
My nerves. I hardly slept last night.
You didn't?
Not a wink.
Why on earth? What happened?
Do I have to tell you?
No, not the telephone.
Yes, at all hours, over and over again.
You're sure?
Indeed, I am. The sound is so loud in this house, it hurts my ears.
Well, we can't have that.
And this time, he spoke to me.
He didn't.
Margaret, I simply can't bear it.
Shush, dear, don't you worry. We'll do something about that right now. Call Miss Finch and clear it up.
She won't listen.
Of course she will.
She doesn't take me at all seriously.
Well then, I'll have a word with her. We can't have you going without your sleep.
Operator?
Is that Miss Finch?
It is.
This is Margaret Phillips, Miss Keene's private nurse.
Oh, yes, how are you?
I'm fine, but Miss Keene isn't doing so well.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Why haven't you fixed her line yet?
I've told her we'll repair it as soon as...
It's gone beyond that. Now someone is speaking to her. She can't sleep at all. If Miss Keene's health should be disturbed any further, the phone company will be held responsible.
Now, just a minute.
Give me the phone.
Here she is now. She'll tell you herself.
Miss Finch,
Yes, Miss Keene.
there's a voice on the phone.
A voice.
It says one word over and over. Hello. It doesn't sound normal. It sounds distorted.
Are you sure it's a voice?
What else could it be?
Well, static on the line sometimes.
It was someone, I tell you, the same someone who kept listening to me say hello over and over again without answering back. The same one who made those horrible noises.
What kind of noise?
I don't know. That's why I'm calling you. It must stop immediately.
A voice, you say? Was it a man or a woman?
I couldn't be sure.
So you have no idea?
I tell you, there is no way of knowing. It could be either.
And you're positive it wasn't someone on your party line?
Oh, don't you think I know the people on my party line?
Of course, Miss Keene, of course. Well, I'll have a man come out as soon as possible. The crews are still pretty busy, what with the damaged lines and all from the storm, but I'll tell them to put a rush on it.
And what am I to do if this person calls again?
Hang up, Miss Keene.
But whoever it is will only call back. And then I have to answer to stop the ringing.
That's my best advice. It's either that or disconnect the line.
No, you can't do that. What if there were an emergency? I have no way to call out.
That's true. Then there isn't much choice. I suggest you talk to them. Try to find out more. Get a name if you can. Do that and we'll have something to go on. We'll take immediate action, I promise you.
But I don't wish to speak to them at all.
Then I'm afraid there's nothing we can do.
So you won't help me?
We can't. It could be absolutely anyone. There's no way to know.
I see. Then, good day to you.
What did she say?
Not a word of help. It's obvious she doesn't believe me.
Oh, I'm sure that's not true.
As far as she's concerned, I'm just a nervous old biddy falling prey to my imagination.
But she didn't actually say...
Well, she'll find out differently. You all will, if it's not too late by then.
Such talk. You're letting yourself get way too upset. Why don't we have some breakfast? Would you like that?
No, I'm not hungry.
In a while, then. We'll both have something. I'll leave the curtains drawn so you can catch up on your rest. Would you like a pillow for your back?
Make sure they're completely drawn.
But it's so dark in here.
I can't afford the risk.
What do you mean?
But if someone's out there, he could be watching.
Watching what?
Me. Oh, nothing tastes right today, not even tea. It's not your fault. I'm feeling so out of sorts. Margaret? Margaret? That's all right. Stay where you are. You're entitled to a nap, too. There. That will stop it. I won't put it to my ear. I won't. But if I don't take the call, I'll never know who it is. Oh. All right, I'll leave it on the hook. And the next time it rings, I'll force myself to speak to them and find out what they're up to. Oh. Hello?
Hello.
Who is this? Who's calling, please?
Hello.
Who's calling? I've had quite enough. Stop this at once.
Hello.
Why do you keep saying that? Can't you hear me? Please.
Hello. Hello.
Margaret! Margaret! Margaret!
Yes? Oh, Miss Alva. I was just resting my eyes. Is everything all right?
No, it is not.
Then what?
The telephone.
Oh. Did it ring? I thought I heard something.
It's a man. I'm sure of it.
How do you know?
Because he just called again. I heard the tone of his voice. It was deep and hoarse. Like there was something wrong with him.
What did he want?
I don't know.
Then how?
He just keeps saying hello. Over and over. That's all he says. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Now you've got to stop this, Miss Keene.
I've got to stop. I'm not the one who...
You're working yourself into a state over...
Over nothing?
I didn't say that.
You didn't have to. You were going to say it.
Now, Miss Keene, I was not. I think I'd better put you back in your bed so you can...
I don't want to be put in my bed. I want to know who this terrible man is who keeps calling.
What did Miss Finch tell you? She told you it was probably a bad connection, didn't she? The telephone wires are still wet from the rain.
It was not the connection. It's a man.
I'm not arguing, Miss Keene, but if he keeps on saying hello...
That's all he says.
Then obviously he can't hear you. And that would be because of a bad connection. Doesn't that make sense?
No. He heard me. I know he heard me. He paused each time and waited for me to speak. I don't know what he wants.
Then why don't you hang up on him, Miss Silver? You don't have to listen, just hang up. Is that so hard to do?
No, I've tried that. But the voice... Hello, over and over. Hello, hello, hello.
Then do this. Take it off the hook. There. Now he can't call you, right?
Nobody can call me.
Leave it that way just for the time being, until all this funny business is over. It will be the same on the extension. And then if you decide to make a call, all you have to do is hold down the arm for a second. Isn't that right, Miss Keene? Miss Keene?
But why is he calling me? Why would he? Can you tell me that? Why? He wants something from me, but I can't imagine what it is. Oh, I can't bear that sound. Try putting a pillow over it. There. No.
Hello.
Hello?
Where are you?
What?
I want to talk to you.
No.
Where are you? I want to talk to you.
Please.
Where are you? I want to talk to you.
No, I beg of you.
Where are you? I want to talk to you.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Phone company.
Miss Finch, the problem is getting worse.
Oh, hello, Miss Keene.
I tell you I won't have it.
Have you tried leaving it off the hook?
No, it doesn't do any good. He just waits for me to hang up so he can call back. I left the receiver off last night, but I can't do it anymore. Even when I bury it under a pillow, the noise keeps me awake. I haven't had any sleep in 24 hours.
Then perhaps, Miss Keene, we should disconnect it after all.
No, I am an invalid, Miss Finch. I must have telephone service in case of emergency.
I'm sure you must.
Now, I want the line checked. Do you hear? This terrible thing must stop right away.
All right, Miss Keene, I'll put a man on it right away, and this time we'll get to the bottom of it.
Swear to it.
I give you my word.
Oh, good. Thank you. You don't know what this means to me.
I'll call you as soon as we find out the problem.
You'll see to it, no matter what it takes.
Of course. First thing, we'll give you an answer before noon.
Thank you.
Don't you worry now.
Oh, bless you.
That's what we're here for.
Your play.
What?
Pick up your cards, Miss Elva. This is what we need, you'll see. A nice game of canasta.
Oh, yes.
Now, it's your play.
What is the matter with that girl?
Hmm?
She promised faithfully that a man would check on it today. The afternoon is almost over and no one's been by.
Maybe he doesn't have to come by, Miss Elva.
Why wouldn't he?
If the problem is somewhere else, with one of the telephone poles, for example.
Well, I suppose that could be true, but she promised she'd let me know.
Look at your cards. Did you get a good hand this time?
Oh,
That'll be her, don't you think? Want me to answer it?
yes, if you would.
Hello? No, this is Margaret Phillips. Would you like to speak with her?
Who is it?
Just a moment. You see, it's Miss Finch. Now everything will be fine.
Oh, yes?
About those calls you say you've been receiving, Miss Keene.
Say I've been receiving. Why don't you believe?
We sent a man out to trace them. I have his report here.
And?
He says he followed your line through all its connections. He found the problem.
Well, what is it?
A fallen wire on the edge of town.
Fallen wire?
Yes, Miss Keene. The weather blew it free of the pole.
I don't understand.
One end was on the ground, so no signal at all was getting through.
Are you telling me that there were no calls?
I'm sorry, but there's no way anyone could have called from that location, Miss Keene.
I tell you, a man called me. There must be a phone there. There must be some way for him to call me.
Miss Keene, the wire is lying on the ground, unattached. Tomorrow our crew will put it back up and you won't have any further trouble.
There must be a way that someone got through.
But there is no one out there. No one at all.
Out where?
Miss Keene, it's the cemetery.
Oh.
Miss Keene, are you there?
What is it, Miss Elva?
Miss Keene? Miss Keene?
Why have you dropped the phone? Will you tell me what's wrong? Miss Keene, for heaven's sake, what is it? Here we are. Valley View Cemetery. Are you sure you want to get out of the car?
Yes.
I wish you'd tell me why you decided to come all this way. Miss Keene, this isn't good for you. If you hadn't made such a to-do about it, I'd never have taken you in the first place. Why won't you answer? What can there possibly be out here for you to see?
Get my chair from the back seat, please.
Very well, have it your way. Careful. Now. Up and out. Here's a blanket for your legs. Though I can't imagine why you'd want to. Miss Elva? What are you looking at?
Over there,
You mean inside the grounds?
on the other side of the gate.
All right. We'll have to steer clear of the power lines, though. Well, there's a loose telephone wire hanging down. Can't see where it touches the ground. Where are we going?
The first row on the left. About halfway down, as I recall.
That's where the wire ends.
I knew it.
Here?
Here.
And we better not go any closer. It's fallen directly onto a grave. Right by an old headstone. What's the name? Brian Douglas. And the date of birth and death? More than 50 years ago. Oh, the poor young man. Only 27.
I knew it.
Miss Alva.
It's him.
Who?
It's him. Brian. Oh, Brian.
You knew him?
Brian, my fiancé. He died a week before we were to be married.
Oh, Miss Alva, I didn't know.
We were in a car together. I insisted on driving. I was always insisting on things, telling him what I wanted, dominating him in my way, and he always did what I said, always. I lost control of the car, steered it right into a tree. Brian went through the windshield. He was cut to pieces. I was left crippled, and now he's trying to reach me, I'm sure of it. Don't you see? He's trying to reach me. So many years out here alone, in the sun, in the wind, in the rain. And now, at last, I can talk to him. I won't be lonely anymore.
Would you like more covers on the bed?
No, Margaret, I'm perfectly fine.
I can plump up your pillows for you.
It's not necessary.
I can't leave you like this.
I'll be all right. Good night.
But
Good night, Margaret.
you call me if you need me now.
I will.
I'll be home all night.
Yes, Margaret. Good night.
You sleep well.
Now then, you may call me any time at all. I'm waiting. Oh, this is ridiculous. Now that I want you to call. Brian? Brian? Are you there? Can you hear me? It's Elva. Elva! Oh, Brian. Brian, my dear. Brian, where are you? Where are you, Brian? Can't you hear me at all? Brian! Are you there, Brian? If you are, please speak. It's Elva. Elva! You can speak to me now. I didn't know it was you. I thought... Brian, please, I know you're there. It's Elva. Talk to me, Brian, please. I beg you.
You said leave you alone.
No, but I didn't mean...
I always do what you say.
Oh, God, but I didn't mean... Brian, I didn't mean that. Not this time. I didn't understand. I only meant... Oh, Brian. Brian, speak to me. No, Brian, don't go. Don't leave me here. I didn't know it was you. I didn't understand. I tell you, there were so many things I didn't understand. I didn't mean to say. Brian, please. Please. Oh, please. No. Oh.
According to the Bible, God created heaven and earth. But it is every man's prerogative and every woman's to create their own particular and private hell. Case in point, Miss Elba Keene, who in every sense has made her own bed, and now must lie in it. Sadder but wiser, by dint of a rather painful lesson in responsibility, transmitted from the Twilight Zone.
Hi, this is Carl Amari, producer of the Twilight Zone radio dramas. I'd like to take a moment to tell you about our official website at twilightzoneradio.com, where you'll get the latest news and information on these Twilight Zone radio dramas. Plus, at twilightzoneradio.com, you can digitally download 3 free episodes or any of our episodes for only $1.95 each. In this age of ever-changing technology, we've decided to make these episodes instantly available to you by making the Twilight Zone radio dramas a digital download-only series. This means that this series will no longer be offered on CD. The CD collections at our website are now being offered while supplies last at buy one, get one free. So be sure to get your favorites before they're sold out. Be sure to visit us often, and I'll see you in the zone.
Night Call, starring Mariette Hartley with Stacy Keach as your narrator, was adapted for radio by Dennis Etchison and written for The Twilight Zone by Richard Matheson. Heard in the cast were Sarah Wellington, Meg Thalken, and Doug James. The producers of The Twilight Zone wish to thank CBS Enterprises and the Rod Serling Estate for making this series possible. This copyrighted radio series is produced and directed by Carl Amari for Falcon Picture Group and Westwood One. Sound design and custom Foley effects for The Twilight Zone by Cerny American creatives Bob Benson, Greg Lee, Michael Slaybach, and Matt Sorrow. To learn more about the Twilight Zone radio dramas and to contact us, visit our official website at twilightzoneradio.com. Doug James speaking.
There is a fifth dimension beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone.
No, where am I? What am I doing outdoors? I don't remember leaving my... Oh, it's so dark. I don't live here. Or here. Which is my house. Oh, I must get home.
May I assist you, madam?
You startled me. I've lost my way. My home is somewhere around here, I'm sure, but I don't know where.
Perhaps I can help you find it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I don't even know how I came to be out here.
It's certainly not safe at this time of night.
Oh, at any time.
Well, surely the daytime when the streets are crowded.
No, that's when it's most dangerous. For me. So you see, I never go out.
Never?
Never.
But, dear lady, why not?
I'm afraid.
Afraid? Of something or someone?
Someone. It's difficult to explain.
Please, try me.
Oh, I'm not sure you'd believe me. You'd think I'm just a senile old woman.
I'd believe you, Wanda.
What did you call me?
Wanda. That is your name, isn't it?
Yes, but I didn't tell you that.
You didn't? Are you certain?
Yes, I'm certain. How do you know my name?
Because I've been looking for you for a long time, Wanda.
Oh, no.
You've kept me at bay for many years, but no longer.
No. Get away from me.
There's nowhere to turn, Wanda. You don't know where you are, remember? You certainly couldn't run from me, a frail old woman like you.
Please, no, I won't let you.
Say that again. It amuses me. You won't let me? How do you imagine you're going to stop me? You really have no choice, Wanda. There's nowhere for you to go now. Come to me, old woman. Take my hand.
No.
Take my hand.
No. 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 Oh, it was the dream. The dream again. I'm home. Of course I'm home. Where else would I be? But is it night or day? Oh, that's right. The clock is broken. It's been broken a long time. And I can't get it repaired, can I? Not without going. No, I can't. I mustn't. I have to resist every temptation. Oh, really, Wanda? How could you be so careless? How could you fall asleep before... Oh, I must check. Yes. The boards and the windows are still secure. Is that... Can I feel a breeze? Is there a gap? Oh, not enough. Not enough. He still can't get in. Oh, what about the door? Chain is on. And the door is locked. Good. He can't come in that way either. Oh, yes, I'm safe. Safe for another day. But I've been careless. Really, falling asleep before checking. I mustn't take chances. I can't take chances. Not while he's out there. And he's always out.
Miss Dunn? Miss Dunn, are you all right in there?
Who are you?
It's Barry. Mr. Fabian, you know, from the grocery store. I know we've actually never met, but, well, we've spoken on the phone, Miss Dunn. At least we used to. Do you even have a phone anymore? Anyway, you know me, right?
What do you want?
I'm delivering your groceries, Miss Dunn. You remember? Charlie, the kid who works for me, was supposed to bring them, I know, but he called in sick. Yeah, kids these days, huh? No sense of responsibility. Anyway, I thought I'd better get them to you now instead of waiting till tomorrow. I figured, you know, you'd be waiting for them. Is that all right?
Put the food through the letterbox.
The letterbox, right. Okay. Oh.
Thank you, Mr. Fabian. Your money is coming under the door now.
Under the door.
Here it is.
Miss Dunn, wouldn't it be easier to just...
$6 and
Okay.
32 cents.
Many thanks, Miss Dunn, but,
Good day to you, Mr. Fabian.
Miss Dunn, are you still there?
Yes? What is it?
Well, I've been thinking. I just wonder, Miss Dunn, does anybody else bring you food?
I really don't see what business of yours that is, Mr. Fabian.
Well, no, it's nothing like that, I promise you. I mean, this isn't anything to do with business. I'm just concerned for your well-being. I mean, it seems to me a person can't live on food big enough to fit through a letterbox.
I can assure you, Mr. Fabian, I'm in no danger of dying as long as I observe this strict regimen.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear you talk like that, but I don't know. Maybe if I could come in for a minute.
Come in?
Yeah, I just want to talk, Miss Dunn. I mean, I can't do that so well out here. I really think you need to see a doctor.
Out of the question. No one is coming in here, Mr. Fabian. Not a doctor and not you.
Miss Dunn? Miss Dunn, could you open the door, please?
Go away!
Miss Dunn, I just want to help you.
I know what you want. Leave me alone.
Miss Dunn, all
I know who you are.
You do? Well, that's good. That's very good. Myself, I have a very bad memory. Every morning, you know, my wife gives me a pen. Every day I lose it somewhere. So, will you let me in?
Stop trying to get in here. You won't get me. Just go away and leave me alone.
Come on, Miss Dunn. Look, I've got other deliveries to make. I just want to help you if I can. I think you could use a little help. Ah, the heck with it. Good luck living here in this neighborhood. What's left of it.
Go away. I won't let you in. I won't let you get me. Leave me alone. I don't want to die. I don't want to die.
Please, freeze!
Oh. What's going on out there?
Help! Is anyone in there? You gotta help me.
What is it? Go away!
I've been shot. I need help. Please. Please do something to help.
Who are you?
Officer. I'm a police officer. Please, you have to open the door. I need help. I've been shot.
You're lying to me. I know you. You can't fool me.
No, I'm not trying to fool you. Please. I think I'm dying.
You can't trick me so easily. You're no policeman. Why can't you just leave me alone? I know who you are. I know what you are.
An old woman living in a waking nightmare. An old woman who has fought 1,000 battles with death and has always won. Now she's faced with a grim decision. A decision that might to others seem the simplest in the world. That of whether or not to open a door. And in some strange and frightening way, she knows that this seemingly ordinary door leads to the Twilight Zone.
And now, The Twilight Zone and our story, Nothing in the Dark, starring Marshall Allman, with Stacy Keach as your narrator.
Please. Why won't you help me?
Stop this! Why must you do this to me?
I'm losing a lot of blood. It's so cold out here.
Listen to me. I'm going to open the door.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
But I'm leaving the chain on. Don't even try to touch me. I won't let you.
Don't worry. I'm not gonna hurt you. I couldn't hurt anybody.
Oh. You're so young. Almost a child.
Unless you help me, I'm gonna die. I don't think I can even move very far.
Oh, don't say that. Oh, it isn't fair. No, it just isn't fair. You keep trying to trick me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't move. Don't do that again. Or I'll close the door.
What? Listen, lady. I've been shot. I'm bleeding to death. Do you understand? Do you understand? Please. My name is Harold Belden. I need a doctor. I need a doctor right away. Please, call the hospital. I can't get there myself.
I can't call the hospital. I haven't got a telephone. Not anymore.
Then let me come inside. You can't just leave me. I'm begging you, I'm freezing.
I have to unlock the door. You can't ask me to do that. You can't. I don't want to die. You understand?
So you're not gonna help me? You're just gonna let me die out here?
I know who you are.
No, I told you who I am. My name is Belden. Officer Harold Belden.
That's not her name. There is no such person. Stop trying to trick me.
I don't understand why you keep saying that. Look, it hurts. It hurts, okay? Please, lady, please.
Stop! Stop! Oh, why are you torturing me like this? I tell you, it isn't fair. I don't want to die.
Well, I don't want to die either. If I could get help for myself, I would, but I can't move. I've been shot in the side, you see? Look, look, I'm bleeding.
Oh, it isn't fair. It isn't fair.
Will you help me?
Yes. Yes, I'll help you.
Thank you. Take my hand.
What?
Take my hand. Pull me inside.
No, I won't. I mean, I can't. Oh, can't you? Can't you crawl in?
Well, I don't think so.
Please try. Quickly. I don't want to leave the door open. That's it. Come over here. Into the bed. You just rest. Rest. Oh, what have I done? And what am I going to do? Officer? Officer? Officer?
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
What a... Oh, I'm alive.
Yes. Yes, you are.
Yeah, you're the lady that helped me.
Yes. Eventually. Now, drink this.
What is it?
Tea. There's no milk, I'm afraid. No, don't get up, officer. Conserve your strength.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Please, call me Harold. You saved my life. I owe you at least that much.
Is it good?
It's fine. Thank you. How long have I been out?
Hours.
What time is it?
I'm not sure. Morning, I think.
What do you think?
I don't have a clock.
I guess it is morning. It's hard to tell. What happened to your windows? Who boarded them up?
Well, I did. A long time ago now. But they're still as strong as ever.
What? Why would you do that?
Oh, I have my reasons. Well, we all have our own reasons for doing things. Why would you want to be a policeman? To be in a job where people try to kill you? Well, why would you want to court death like that?
Court death? I don't know that I'd put it that strongly. I do what I do because there's just some jobs that have to be done.
You mean it's a sort of vocation?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Listen, Mrs.
It's Miss Dunn.
Listen, Miss Dunn. You should try to get some rest yourself.
You need it more than I do.
No, really, I feel much better. When the doctor gets here, he'll take me off your hands for good.
The doctor?
Yeah, sure. He'll check my wound, take me to the hospital. You didn't call the doctor?
No, I didn't.
Why not?
I told you last night. I haven't got a telephone. Don't you remember?
No, I don't. I was kind of out of it last night, I guess.
Oh, of course. Perhaps you could use your radio to ask someone to come get you. Oh, you could wait outside for them.
No, I busted my radio when I fell on it. You see?
Hello.
And I don't think I got the shrink left to get up on my own. Look, couldn't you go to one of the neighbors?
Oh, there aren't any.
What are you talking about? There aren't any neighbors. There must be. Everyone has neighbors.
Well, I don't. Not anymore.
Why? What happened?
They've all moved away.
Not all of them. That's impossible.
All of them. Trucks came and took away their furniture. First one, and then another.
Is something happening to these buildings?
I wouldn't know.
I'm sorry to ask, but how can you not know something like that? I mean, if it was my home...
I don't have a great deal of contact with the outside world. I haven't for quite some time. I couldn't even tell you who the president is.
Wow. But there has to be somebody around who can help, you know? Or maybe a phone booth somewhere where you could call a doctor.
Perhaps. I don't know. But even if I could call the doctor somehow, I couldn't take a chance and let him in.
Why not?
It's too dangerous.
Dangerous for you?
Yes.
You let me in.
Oh, I didn't have a choice. You were going to... I didn't know if I could trust you, but I'm still alive.
Of course you're still alive. What do you think I was gonna do? I mean, but the doctor, he's not gonna be any harm to you.
I keep telling you I can't let the doctor in. I can't let anyone else come in. Don't you see? It might be him.
It might be him. Who? Him who?
Mr. Death.
Mr. Death? What?
I know he's out there. He's trying to get in. He comes to the door and knocks. He begs me to let him in. Last week, he said he was from the gas company.
The gas company?
Oh, he's clever. After that, he claimed to be a contractor hired by the city. He said this building was condemned, that I'd have to leave. But I knew who he was. I kept the door locked, refused to let him in. Eventually, he went away.
Condemned, huh? I mean, that explains why there's no one else in the neighborhood.
No, he knows I'm on to him. Yesterday, he said he was Mr. Fabian from the store. But all he really wanted was to come in. That's all he ever wants.
Wait a second.
No, it's no use. You wouldn't understand. I knew you wouldn't. How could you?
Well, I mean, wait, but I want to understand. I do. I mean, this man you're afraid of, you say he's Mr. Death.
That's right.
You don't mean just anybody, do you? You mean like death, right? Death.
That's right.
So is this Mr. Death a person like you or me?
I know it sounds crazy to someone like you, to anyone but me, But it's true. I know it's true.
Okay, I understand what you're saying, but, I mean, people die all the time, all over the world. Now, how could one man be in all those places at once?
I don't know. Don't ask me that. Maybe there's more than one of him. Maybe.
I didn't mean to upset you. Please don't cry. I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm sorry. Okay? Can I have another cup of tea? Please?
Of course.
Tell me about Mr. Death.
Your tea.
Thanks. Please, Mr. Death. I would like to know about him.
All right. At first, I couldn't be sure. It was a long time ago. Everything is. It's been so long since anything happened to me. But I was on a bus. There was an old woman sitting in front of me, knitting a scarf, I think. There was something about her face. I felt I knew her. Then a man got on the bus. He wasn't special in any way. Not short, not tall, not fat, just a man. I remember that there were empty seats, but he sat down right next to the old woman. He didn't say anything to her, but I felt that his being there upset her in some way. I couldn't understand why. He seemed like such a nice man. When the old woman dropped her ball of yarn, he bent down and picked it up, right in front of me. He held it up to her. I saw their fingers touch. He stood up and got out the next stop. I couldn't move. It was as if I knew what had happened. But I couldn't do anything. I was just so frightened. When the bus finally reached the end of the line, the driver came over to the woman. He thought she was asleep. But I knew she was...
What, dead?
Dead. And right then and there, I knew it was his touch that killed her.
Okay, but you said it yourself. She was an old woman. Okay, just because this man touched her...
Mr. Death.
Just because he touched her hand, it doesn't mean he killed her. Maybe what you saw was just what it looked like. A man trying to be helpful. I mean, the real cause of her death might have been, a heart failure or a stroke or something. I don't know.
No, he killed her.
Okay, I'm a cop. I've seen dead bodies. I've seen people that were killed by guns, knives, but never by a touch, okay? The man being there when she died, that's just a coincidence.
But I've seen him since then, several times. I've seen him in crowds. I've watched for him. Every time someone I knew died, he was there.
He, the same man, the one on the bus.
No. Once he was a young soldier, then a salesman, a taxi driver. Someone you wouldn't notice unless you were watching closely.
But you could see him.
Oh, yes. And I wondered why that should be. Why I could see him when no one else could. And then I knew.
Why?
It was because I was getting older, and my time was coming. I could see clearer than younger people like yourself. Now, do you understand? Oh, I know you don't believe me. That would be too much to ask of anyone. But do you at least understand? Please, I have to know.
All right. Maybe, okay? But if there is some Mr. Death who's able to visit all the people in the world like Santa Claus...
Don't mock me.
I'm not meaning to mock you, okay? I would never do that. I swear. But if he's real...
He is.
If he's real, then I don't see what the problem is.
You don't see what the problem is? Oh, you must be joking.
No, I mean, if you know what he looks like, what have you got to be afraid of? If you're right, and you can see death, I'd say you're kind of fortunate.
Fortunate?
Sure, yeah. I mean, you'd be able to see him coming. You could just avoid him.
Oh, didn't I tell you his face is always different? He's different sizes, different ages, different races. I couldn't be sure.
Well, how about when you go out?
Out?
Sure. Well, I know you said you don't have much contact with the outside world, but you have to go out sometime. I mean, to the shops or something, you know? Now, couldn't he touch you then, if he wanted to?
No.
Why not?
I never go out. Never.
Never.
Oh, I haven't been out for years. I don't know how many. I don't keep count. That would be too depressing. But I suppose you can guess from the smell. You're too polite to mention it. But it must bother you as much as it bothers me.
So what do you do about food?
The boy at Mr. Fabian's store delivers it. But I never open the door to him.
How can you live like this?
Well, don't think I enjoy it.
So why do you do it?
Because if I don't live like this, I won't live at all. If I don't watch out, if I let down my guard even for a moment, he'll get in. I know he will. I haven't always lived like this, you know. I was young once. People said I was pretty. I lived out in the sunlight. I hated to be inside, even for a minute. My mother always said I'd spoil my fine complexion, but I didn't care. I loved outdoor things. I lived out in the sunlight, so warm, so beautiful. Beautiful, like I once was.
You're still beautiful.
Oh, no, I'm not. I'm old and cold. I miss the warmth of the sun so much. See that patch of sunlight on the floor? Where's it coming from?
I think it's coming in from between the cracks in the boards of the window over there.
Oh, yes. It's so warm to the touch. You know, I've always hated the dark and the cold. And now I'm old. I've lived a long time, but I don't want to die. I've heard people say it was his time when an old person dies. But it's not your time if you're not ready to die. I'd rather live in the dark than not live at all.
Miss Dunn, I promise you, there's nothing to be afraid of. We're all alone here. Okay, there's nobody outside the door. I know you're upset, okay? And you're clearly under a lot of pressure. But I think all you need is some rest.
Oh, officer.
Yeah, and I need help.
Oh, I don't know what to do.
Just give me some medical attention. Look, I don't know how badly I've been hurt, okay? But I've lost a lot of blood. And I need help soon. Or I don't know how much longer I can...
I've told you I can't go out there. You can't ask me to do that.
Look, this whole Mr. Death thing, I promise you, you don't have anything to worry about.
Shh. Someone's coming.
Well, get them to help me.
No!
There's nothing to be afraid of. Please, answer it. Go on. That's right. Go ahead. You're doing fine. Answer it. Go on.
I'm keeping the chain on.
That's fine. Do whatever you want. Just see who it is and get them to call for help.
I'm sorry, lady, but I got my orders.
No! Get away! Officer Belden, help me!
I can't fool around any longer. Step aside, I'm coming in. Take my hand. Easy, lady. Just lie quiet there till you get your strength back.
What?
You gave me quite a scare there when you fainted like that. Sorry I pushed you when I put my shoulder to the door. You started to faint and I offered you my hand, but you passed right out. For a second I thought that... Well, I don't even want to talk about that. But I'm glad you're okay.
And still, I live.
Huh? I told you I didn't mean to hurt you. It was an accident. You're not going to sue, are you?
What do you want with me?
Here, let me help you get up. Take my...
I can get up myself.
Look, you gotta understand, man. I don't get no pleasure out of busting in doors. Who would? Except maybe some thug, but I'm no thug. I'm just a guy doing a job.
Your job?
Look, you don't seem to realize how important this is. I've got a crew and equipment coming in an hour to pull this tenement down. Begging your pardon, man, but looking at this place, I say it's long overdue. Frankly, I'm kind of surprised it's still standing.
And you're really not Mr. Death?
Mr. Who? I don't know what you're talking about, ma'am. My name's Armstrong. Bud Armstrong. I don't know about any Mr. whatever you said. All I know is I got a contract to demolish this row of buildings. That's what I got to do. Everybody else moved out a long time ago. Until the other day, I thought this whole building was deserted. I seen them windows boarded up, and I figured you moved out when the rest of them did. Thank goodness I met that guy from the grocery store, that Mr. Fabian.
Oh, Mr. Fabian. Then he was real, after all.
Real? What are you talking about? I told him about my job down here, then he told me all about you, that he was worried about you. Told me he had a kid bring you your stuff. That was the first I knew about you, and it's darn lucky I found out. Well, you'd still be in here when the wrecking ball hits. Now, come on. We gotta get out of here.
You want me to go outside?
Sure. Didn't you just hear me? This place is coming down. You can't stay in here.
You want me to leave here?
You have to.
I can't.
It's Miss Dunn, right? Well, Miss Dunn, you were notified about the demolition job months ago. Look, I'm not out to bully you. I'm just trying to do my job here. These buildings were condemned by the city. Can't say I blame them. And I'm the one who's got to tear them down.
Tear them down? Wow, can you?
Look around you, ma'am. This building has had it. You can see that. I can see that. Anyone could see that. It's all worn out, dilapidated. All these buildings have got to come down. You seem like a nice person. A nice person shouldn't have to live in a place like this. Now let's the two of us just...
Get away from me! Don't touch me!
Please don't act like this. I ain't a monster, lady. I've got a heart just like anybody else, and I can see how you could get attached to a place, but, not want to see it wrecked. But when a building's this old, it's not fit to live in no more. It's dangerous. It's got to come down to make room for a new one, a stronger one. That's life, lady. Old make room for the new, you know?
No.
People get the idea that I'm some kind of destroyer. They think I get kicks out of tearing stuff down. But that ain't the way it is. No, that ain't the way it is at all. I just clear the ground so other people can build on it. In a way, I guess I kind of help them do it. Can't have one without the other, am I right? Look around you. It's just the way things are, like when a big tree falls in the forest and a new one grows right out of the same ground. Old animals die and young ones take their places. It's just nature. That's how it is. Even people step aside when it's time.
I won't.
When I finally kick the bucket, or when I get too old to contribute, my son-in-law will probably take over
The door!
What about it? Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. I didn't realize the chain was on when I put my shoulder to it. Door's okay, but the chain's had it.
You left the door open!
Hey, there's no need
Get
to...
out of my way!
You don't have to do that. What's the sense of locking a door that won't even be here in an hour? I'm on the clock here, and we've waited long enough. If you've got any possessions you want to keep, Miss Dunn, I'd move them out while there's still time. I'll help you.
You think you're helping me? I'm not going to leave here. Not with you. Not with anyone. Don't try to touch me. I don't want you anywhere near me.
Now look, ma'am, I've been nice to you. I've been trying to go easy. I know this must be tough for you. Any kind of move is a big upset, especially to an older person like you. But if you insist on staying here, I'll have to call a cop.
A cop? A police officer?
It's just for your own good. Please, cooperate, lady. Hey, where you going?
Of course. Mr. Belden! Explain it to him. Tell him the reason I can't go out there. I know you understand. I've told you everything. You'll help me, won't you? You'll help me stay? Well, say something.
What are you doing? Who are you talking to?
Oh, Mr. Belden is a policeman.
Mr. Belden? Who the heck is Mr. Belden? Is he your pet? You got a cat in here?
Please tell him.
Lady, I think maybe you're sick. You should come with me. I'll get you to a doctor.
I don't need a doctor. Mr. Belden, won't you tell him?
Okay, I get it. I see how it is. Hey, I'm sorry, but if you're still here when the crew arrives, I'll have to call a cop. I'm sorry. I wanted to make you understand, but... Okay.
What's the matter with you? Why didn't you say something? Why didn't you help me? I thought you understood. I thought you'd help me.
I think the question you should be asking yourself, Wanda, is how he looked straight at this bed and didn't see me.
You called me Wanda, but I never told you my first name. Oh no. No. It's not true. It's not true.
Yes, it is. The mirror, Wanda. Look in the mirror. What do you see?
I can't. I won't.
Look in the mirror, Wanda. What do you see?
I see nothing. Nothing but an empty bed.
Turn around. Now what do you see?
I see you. Mr. Death.
We'll be back to the Twilight Zone in just a moment. And now, Act 3 of Nothing in the Dark, starring Marshall Allman.
It was you. It was you all the time.
Yes. It was me.
Oh, don't get up. You're still... Oh. You're not hurt.
No. No, I'm not.
But you were shot. Those men...
Did you see me get shot?
No, but you were bleeding.
Do you see any bloodstains now?
No.
And the men? Did you see them?
You were never hurt, were you?
I can't be hurt.
You tricked me.
Yes, Wanda. I tricked you. It was all an illusion. One I created just for you. If it helps, I'm sorry. I would have preferred to avoid it if I could.
But why? Why did you do it? The moment I let you inside, you could have taken me any time.
Yes, I could have.
But you were nice. You made me trust you.
But I had to make you understand, Wanda. You see me now, and you've seen me before. Many times before. Starting with that day on the bus.
Oh, I was right. It was you.
The old lady's name was Iris. I knew then that you were upset.
Upset?
I thought it was important that you got to know me. What I said to you before, it was true.
What you said?
When you thought I was a policeman. You asked me why I did what I did.
And you said there were some jobs that had to be done.
That's right.
That it was a kind of vocation.
Actually, Wanda, you said that. But I suppose you're right in a way. Now ask yourself, am I really so bad? Am I really so frightening? You've talked to me. You've confided in me. Have I tried to hurt you?
Well, no, but...
Do you really believe I would ever hurt you?
You don't look like someone who would want to hurt me.
You see? It isn't me you're afraid of, is it? You know me now. You understand me. What you're afraid of, what you've really been afraid of all these years, is the unknown. That's right, isn't it?
Yes.
Don't be afraid.
But I am afraid.
You must be very tired, Wanda.
I am.
But the running's over now. It's time to rest.
I'd like that, but...
Give me your hand.
I don't want to die.
Trust me.
No.
Mother, give me your hand.
I will.
There. You see?
See? See what?
No shock, no engulfment, no loud thunder. What you feared would come like an explosion is like a whisper. What you thought was the end is the beginning.
When will it happen? When will we go?
Go?
Yes. I'm ready now.
Look over there, on the floor.
What is there to... Oh.
Now do you understand?
It's me.
It's you.
My body. I look so calm.
You see? We have already begun. Come with me.
Yes. Please. I'd like to. It's such a beautiful day.
It is. It surely is. You know, Mr. Armstrong was right about a lot of things.
What things?
Well, for one, his son does take over the business when he dies.
Will that be soon?
Another 16 years.
Oh, dear.
It'll be quick.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm afraid I was a little harsh on him.
Now the son-in-law, he lives to be 102.
102? Oh, goodness.
I know. It's remarkable, really. Of course, the oldest person I ever met was a lady in Tibet.
Well, how old was she?
Take a guess.
Oh, I'm no good at guessing.
Come on, take a guess. You'll never believe it.
There was an old woman who lived in a room, and like all of us, was frightened of the dark, but who discovered in the minute last fragment of her life that there was nothing in the dark that wasn't there when the lights were on. Object lesson for the more frightened amongst us. In or out of the Twilight Zone.
Hi, this is Carl Amari, producer of the Twilight Zone radio dramas. I'd like to take a moment to tell you about our official website at twilightzoneradio.com, where you'll get the latest news and information on these Twilight Zone radio dramas. Plus, at twilightzoneradio.com, you can digitally download 3 free episodes or any of our episodes for only $1.95 each. In this age of ever-changing technology, we've decided to make these episodes instantly available to you by making the Twilight Zone radio dramas a digital download-only series. This means that this series will no longer be offered on CD. The CD collections at our website are now being offered, while supplies last, at buy one, get one free. So be sure to get your favorites before they're sold out. Be sure to visit us often, and I'll see you in the zone.
Nothing in the Dark, starring Marshall Ullman with Stacy Keach as your narrator, was adapted for radio by M.J. Elliott and written by George Clayton Johnson. Heard in the cast were Roz Alexander, Jeff Morrow, Doug James, and Mike Starr. This copyrighted radio series is produced and directed by Carl Amari for Falcon Picture Group and Westwood One. Custom Foley effects, sound design, and mixing are done in the Cerny American Sound to Picture Theater by Cerny American creatives Matt Sorrow, Bob Benson, Todd Beyer, and Tim Cerny. To learn more about the Twilight Zone radio dramas and to contact us, visit our official website at twilightzoneradio.com.
Miss Dunn, it's Doug James speaking.
Thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe.